What's up, guys? It's your boy Dalton here, bringing you a deck profile here on TCG Buzz. I'll bring you my deck profile of the Trap deck here. I feel like it's a pretty simple build right now. There are a few things I'm still working on with it, but this is it at its current state. The promo flag of Knights Naboru. Ooh, so nice. And my buddy is Trickster Pitt, foiled out. Just the buddy. I ain't too big into the foilings. Max Ragey, not my style. Let's get into this bad boy. It's a new setup that we're doing here at TCG Buzz just because we want to try different things, see if different things work out. You know what I'm saying? Start off with the main boss card of this deck. Remote Trickster, Lone Remote. At 4 copies, pretty self-explanatory. Basically, when you cast a trap spell, either during your turn or your opponent's turn, once per turn, draw a card and deal your opponent 1 damage. It's amazing. Has Soul Guard, 1 gauge, call cost, 5/2/3. I like it. Off to the next monster. It's the buddy of the deck, Trickster Pitt. 4/1/2. I feel like it's self-explanatory on why I'm running it at 4. Basically, his ability is when he's destroyed, if there are 4 more traps in your drop zone, destroy a monster on your opponent's field, and it has move. So, even in the matchup that you guys saw between Miseria, he is scary, even though he is an uncommon. Christian can attest to that. Next, I run 3 of Trickster. Iyan, I don't know. I'm not Russian, as you can tell by this, but I do want to bump her back up to 4. I was running her at 4 initially, but I wanted to add it in this next card. But it's basically searching out your monsters. It's the search of the deck. You kind of need it in order to run the deck. Otherwise, the deck kind of flops. And the last monster I run is Distant Days Dawn, a.k.a. Boomerang Dawn, just because why not have that field presence? Why not run Gal formation within Dungeon World without Drum? That wraps up monsters. Off into items. I run 4 Trapmaker. Trapmaker is quite nice. It pay a life to equip, counter when you're being attacked, put the top card of your deck into your drop zone. If it's a trap spell, nullify. Drawback S. If it's not, you have to discard a card as well. Kind of sucks if you don't get it, which is a decent amount. It's about a 50-50 that I've noticed so far, at least for me. But in the end, it's still a pseudo nullify. Other items I run are Thunderbeast Spear Beastra. Run that at 2 just because have a little bit more offensive presence. I like it, especially with its second ability, being able to destroy a monster or item on your opponent's field. Obviously, you have to have its counterpiece, which I also run at 2. Wind Scaled Spear, Eskamal. Bleh. Basically, link attacking aspect of the deck. Since all the trap monsters are adventurers as well, it works out perfectly fine. I like this aggroness. I'm thinking about dropping down Trapmaker down 2, so I can add in an extra copy of each, but gotta see how it is. You know. That wraps up the items. And off to the spells. I'm going to start off with me Trap Engine, I guess you can say. This is probably not the most ideal trap lineup, but run 4 Hidden Crossbow because Hidden Crossbow is nice, especially in today's meta. It's kind of a lot lower defensive monsters and so forth, so it works out a lot better. 4 Defuse because Dangerous Fuse is amazing. That's a different card there. Ooh, glad I caught that. Then 4 Dig a Hole. I'm a little bit on a fence with Dig a Hole just because of how much it's costly and the fact that it has to be on your opponent's left or right. I don't like it 100%, but it's still better than nothing. It's another destruction, especially if your Hidden Crossbow can't destroy a monster that's attacking and so forth. Yes, it is on entrance, but still better than nothing. Next, I run 4 Bind Trap. because resting him on is amazing as well. Yes, its limit is 4,000 defense or less, but again, with a lot lower defenses out there, like with the size 2 balls and the size 1 Abigails, I don't feel like it's too bad at all. And then I run 2 dangerous bed of damage. Basically just another destruction, especially works well against Miseria, the cold-blooded king, just to mess with him. I love it in that aspect. I would only run it at 2 just because having too many of it kind of clogs up your hand, especially since it's not a counter like good majority of these cards are, but yeah, it's still a great card, especially for gauge gain. That wraps up the trap lineup. Ooh. On to the rest of the spells. Run 4 Divine Protection, because you need to run 4. You need shields besides Trapmaker. I run 4 Crusade, just to have a reducer. It's nice. I would have loved these spells to have been traps as well, but that'd be too broken, let's be real. And then I run 4 Bunny Call. I probably don't need 4 Bunny Call, but I like it just because it's keeps a monster on the field for me, or a card, I should say. So especially if somebody's trying to get rid of one of my spears, I can keep them on the field. And yeah, that basically wraps up my deck profile of traps. Let me know if there's anything that you think I should add or take out or substitute. I like this deck. I feel like it's amazing. Don't have a sideboard for it yet. Otherwise, I would have shown you a sideboard, but I love the way it plays right now. Sideboard's probably going to be a crazy thing to build, but yeah, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you're already subscribed, go to the little bell on our page, click on that so you make sure you get notifications for the channel. Otherwise, this is my trap profile for you guys, and stay classy. We want to thank our sponsor, Frost Giants Games, for making this show possible. Frost Giants Games is Wisconsin's game store of choice for board games, Magic the Gathering, and other card games. Check them out at www.frostgiantgames.com.